Hey y'all, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Brittany and this is Glory in the Mundane. So normally on Tuesdays I've been doing what I have dubbed my Teachable Tuesday, where I kind of go into scripture on biblical womanhood, but I have decided to skip it this week, and I will explain why in a second whenever I get into this video. So instead I decided I would go ahead and do a pregnancy update, since it kind of explains why I don't have anything prepared, and I'm also a day late. So let's get into it. Okay, so if you are new here, I am currently 30. Oh, no, not yet. This is going to be going live on Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, on Wednesday. When you are watching this, if you're watching this when it first comes out, then tomorrow I will be 30 weeks pregnant. I am currently 29 weeks and 5 days. So I am pregnant with my fourth baby. It is the fifth sibling in our family, and we are having a baby girl. She is currently, based on my app, it says that she's roughly around 16 inches and 3.3 pounds, which follows along track on what my ultrasound said, where she was at a couple of weeks ago. That just kind of follows along with where she was at then. All of my babies have been fairly average. I've had, one in the low 7s, one in the high 7s, and one in the 8s. So somewhere they're a fairly average range. So I expect she's probably going to be somewhere between 7.5 and 8 pounds when she gets here. Starting with her, she is currently head down, is what my doctor said whenever we had the ultrasound at 28 weeks. And she said based on that, the timing and everything, she will probably stay that way, which is pretty much what all of my babies have done. They've all flipped head down between 28 and 30 weeks and just kind of stayed there. She is kind of in like L shaped, so she's head down, and her bottom is, well, you can't see, but up over in here, and then her feet are diagonal down, and so she's almost making like a triangle. But yeah, she'll pull her feet up higher, but most of the time she likes to keep her feet down lower on my left side, and her bottom's on my right side, and then she's head down, so she's facing toward my left side. She gets the hiccups a lot, several times a day, and she does not like them. She gets very angry. She is a very active baby. So my second and now my fourth have both been very, very active babies, and my first and my third were pretty mellow, and so they didn't do like the really big movements. They just did normal like kicks and rolls and stuff like that. But what's interesting is that my first and my third are my more hyperactive kids and my second is my very sweet, calm child. And so my hope is that she's gonna take after my second and be more like him, because she's acting like him in the womb. So fingers crossed on that one, because my other two have definitely given me a run for my money. And I think that's all that I have about her. So 28 weeks, I did go in and get my blood work done for my glucose test. I actually don't mind the glucose test. A lot of people say that they really hate it. They hate the drink. It doesn't really bother me. I've always said that it tastes kind of like, those drinks that you get in like the little plastic barrel looking things. Maybe that's just a southern thing, but you have the drinks in the little barrels, and it's like super, super sweet. That's what it tastes like to me. So it doesn't really bother me very much. So I passed my glucose test, which was a little concerned because the night before I had a lot of ice cream. And so I was on the higher end, but I was still well within passing range, so I'll take it. But it did come back that I am slightly anemic, which is the first time that's ever happened in any of my pregnancies. I normally don't struggle with vitamin deficiencies during pregnancy, but it explains a lot, because I've been very, very tired the past couple of weeks and just really feeling run down. which is why I did not have my video prepared to go up. What is today, when I'm filming this today, I was supposed to post that video today, and I just felt like I had been hit by a truck. I was so tired and I felt so weak. I got the results back on Saturday, and on Sunday Mark went and got me an iron supplement, and I started taking that Sunday, and I started feeling better today on Tuesday. And so I'm not 100% yet, but I do feel like I'm starting to get my energy back and everything. So I think hopefully that's working. I can definitely feel that I'm in the third trimester. Normally things start to get a little bit more intense for me as soon as I hit the third trimester. At around 27 weeks, I had a really bad sciatica flare up. I don't know if it's because of my herniated disc in my back or if it's just being my fourth pregnancy or what, but it was pretty intense. I had to sit down a lot. I couldn't do very much for a couple of days, and then it went away, and it's been a lot better. I haven't really had as much back pain since then, which was good. I was really nervous if I was already having that much back pain at 27 weeks, how on earth we were going to get that far. I've been trying to be more intentional about resting, not overdoing it, and not trying to lift heavy things too much, and because I really don't want to cause another flare-up. I have started feeling a lot of pressure in my hips. I don't like the pregnancy pillows. I've tried them all, and I don't like any of them. I still just like using regular old pillows. It seems like the best thing for me is to just get a big, firm, fluffy pillow and stick a pillow between my legs whenever I go to sleep, and it keeps my hips separated and it doesn't hurt. But if I don't have my pillow to sleep with, I will wake up the next day with my hips just kind of throbbing. So any pain that you experience in your hips and in your pelvic region below your pubic bone, those kind of areas, that's pelvic girdle pain. And that has been a lot worse this time. Admittedly, I have not been doing my exercises like I'm supposed to be doing. I know the exercises that I'm supposed to be doing in order to reverse that a little bit, and I have not been doing them because I've been tired. And so my goal is to get back into that this week, and then just for the rest of the pregnancy to try to, at the very least, walk like 5 days a week and do those exercises every day to help strengthen those muscles so I'm not in excruciating pain by the end. Because that was one of the issues that I had at the very end of my pregnancy with Kaylin, my third baby. I had a lot of hip pain. I could not sleep to the point that I was having to take Tylenol and Benadryl together before I went to bed in order to sleep at all, and I was still only getting like 3 hours of sleep because once it wore off, it was just unbearable. And so I really want to try to strengthen that area so that I am not having that pain near the end, and I can just continue my pregnancy longer. Oh, so I have been already taking extreme advantage of my exercise ball. I love my birthing ball. It's technically like an exercise ball, but I never use it unless I'm, really pregnant. So I don't ever use it for exercising. I think I tried once and it just wasn't my thing. I find that it relieves a lot of the pressure and the pain in my hips. And so I have been using that a lot lately. She's sitting very low. And I don't know if it's necessarily that she's low or just the angle that she's at, because her feet are pulled up kind of by close to her face. She's kind of tucked into a little ball. She's nowhere up, like I can push all the way down to, sorry, that was her and she got mad. But I can push on my ribs and everything, and there's no baby up here. She's all down low, which is good and bad, because I think that's why I'm having so much pressure, is because she is all in my pelvis. But the good thing is that because she's not up higher, I have very little indigestion. So with Matthew, my first, I had a lot of indigestion because he was sitting so high the entire time. I actually had to be induced at 41 weeks because he would just not get down. And with Kaylin, my third, she was kind of all over the place. Some days she would be lower, some days she'd be higher. It just kind of depended on the day. So there were some days I had really bad indigestion, some days I had nothing. Callum was sitting a lot how this baby is sitting. He was in my pelvis pretty much the entire time. He never left it. It like cradled him and he was happy there and he just didn't move. And I never had any indigestion with him at all the entire pregnancy. I've been going kind of through this weird thing with food lately. I think it's probably because it's hot outside. You know, we live in Texas, in South Texas, like near Houston, and so it's like really hot. And I really don't want anything breakfast or lunch. Nothing sounds good. And so I always end up eating cereal for breakfast and lunch because it is the only thing that even sounds remotely tolerable. And I just can't seem to find anything else that sounds good. So I've been eating a lot of mini wheats. But by the time dinner rolls around, I want whatever we're having. I don't know what it is about breakfast and lunch. Oh, we did get an ultrasound pictures. We got a couple of pictures. But really only one was a good picture of her profile. It was really nice. With my last baby, we had an ultrasound at 20 weeks and then never had another ultrasound again. So I got to see her at 28 weeks and it was really encouraging because I was kind of feeling a little discouraged I had just had that really bad sciatica flare up and I was really kind of just over being pregnant, and then I was feeling really bad because I'm like, I never feel over being pregnant at this stage because it's so early. Normally it's like 35, 36 weeks. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of ready to be done, but that was really early. And so it was really nice when I got to see her. It really helped me feel like, okay, I can push through this. Not that I don't have an option. It reminded me that at the end of it, we're going to have a baby. So the only other thing I think that I have going on is I have decided I want to talk to my doctor about the birth plan. I've never been the kind of person to put together a birth plan. I think I put together one with Callum, who's my second, and I didn't even use it. Like, I didn't give it to anybody or anything. And then I didn't have one with Kaylin. I didn't have one with Matthew. And I don't know if I'm going to have one really this time. I've been very back and forth on whether or not I wanted to have an epidural this time. I had one with Matthew, and I did not have one with Callum. And then I had one again with Kaylin. And when Kaylin was born, at that point I had done it both ways. And when she came out, I had said if I was having another baby, that's how I was going to do it. I was not going to try to stick it out and not have the epidural. But then shortly after she was born, she was having issues breathing. And so she ended up having to go to the NICU for 2 days. And that was really hard. And I blamed myself a lot for it. And I blamed myself because, I'm like, maybe it's because I got the epidural. And really, as I've been reflecting on it, what the circumstances were, first of all, I went to the hospital way too early. We weren't kind of sure about our plans as far as who was going to watch the other kids if I went into labor at the middle of the night, and it was getting really late and we wanted his mom to get here. And so I kind of rushed to get to the hospital. And so I was only like 4.5 centimeters whenever they admitted me. So it was still very early labor, and I did not progress at all. By the time we got to the hospital, I think it was like 7 o'clock or so. And then by 11 or 11:30, I was still only at a 5, and I was really discouraged and I was tired. and it was in a lot of pain still. Like, it felt like active labor. I ended up at that point getting the epidural because I just couldn't, I was so discouraged. I went to sleep overnight. They gave me the peanut ball and they were like flipping me every, couple hours. By like, I want to say it was like 7:30, they checked me and I was, I think, like at a 6. And so my doctor was on the way to the hospital. So she told him to go ahead and start the lowest dose of Pitocin that you could get. And then she got there 30 minutes later and immediately broke my water. And I guess the double intervention just made everything go super fast. Within an hour, I was at a 10 and she was coming out. Like, I didn't even push. She was just coming out on her own. And because I progressed so quickly and because she moved down so quickly and there was no actual force to push her out, she had a lot of fluid on her lungs. I think it had more to do with the fact that just the way that things happened, and had less to do with me having an epidural. And so I kind of want to talk, so all of that was a big long story, all of that to say that I think I kind of want to talk to my doctor about what happened, because to be honest, I would love to have another epidural. I really have realized that the whole natural birth thing was a sense of pride for me. It was like I wanted to prove that I could do it and prove to myself. And I've come to this point in my life that I've realized that I have nothing to prove. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I know that I did not have, my back's not messed up because of my epidural. My back's messed up because of pregnancy. Just the way that my body is. I love my doctor. She takes her time. She makes sure that I'm completely comfortable. And I know that if I go in there and I tell her I have these legitimate fears of this happening again, what steps can we take to try to prevent? I mean, I know you only have so much control in labor, but is there anything that we can do to help prevent that? Should I put together a birth plan in case, she's not at the hospital, and we can have a more strategic plan as far as delaying intervention or staggering intervention. I'm supposed to go back on the 22nd, and so I think I'm going to go in and talk to her about that and see what her recommendation is for that and what she thinks about it. So I think that wraps up my pregnancy update. I can't think of anything else that I need to add. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I think Friday I will be uploading, I should be back on my schedule. Friday I am uploading a homeschool organization video. These are the kinds of videos that I try to do. Just motherhood, homemaking, homeschooling, biblical womanhood, all that kind of stuff. So if you like that kind of content, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I normally do videos Tuesdays and Fridays, except for whenever I have health problems, and then sometimes it's Wednesdays. but I do try to do videos twice a week, and I try to do them on Tuesdays and Fridays. Yeah, so with that, I'm going to close this video, and I hope y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.